This steak costs under $10 and is super easy to make. First, you're going to want to get yourself a chuck roast. I got this one, it's 2.17 pounds and it costs $8.66. Now, chuck roast is notoriously known for being a little tough, so I'm going to teach you a few ways to make it a bit more tender. The first way is we're going to dry brine it, so that means covering it in kosher salt and leaving it in the fridge uncovered for a couple hours. The salt will penetrate the meat and lead to a more tender and juicy steak. Make sure to get that completely coated, all the edges as well, and I'm going to teach you another tip. When you choose out your steak, make sure it has a good amount of marbling or intramuscular fat. This is a choice chuck roast, and it has as much marbling as some of the prime ones I saw at the supermarket. So make sure you look and choose a good steak. With that said, we're going to place it on a roasting rack and place it in the fridge for 3 to 4 hours. Ideally, you should do it overnight, but if you're impatient like me, this will suffice. So once you're done leaving that uncovered in the fridge, you're going to pull it out. You're going to notice that it's going to have a nice dark and deep red color. You're also going to see some speckles in the fat. That is from the salt. So as you look at the steak, you could definitely tell that it's got more tender, and that's what we're looking for. This is going to come out amazing. You guys cannot skip this step. With that said, we're going to move on to trimming up our steak. Just make sure you remove any of the extra silver skin or tendons. You don't want anything tough. It's very unpleasant to eat. So make sure you remove all that. We are leaving the fat cap on, but we're scoring it. So just as I'm doing here, I'm making nice cuts, not into the meat, but just through the fat all the way down the steak. This will allow for the seasoning to penetrate deep into the meat, and it also helps season the steak a little bit more once that fat renders down. It's also not tough and rubbery like fat on a lot of steaks are, because we are reverse searing this. So put some olive oil on there as a binder. Make sure to coat the entire thing, and then we are going to season it. Keep it simple with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. You may be asking, why are we adding more salt? Trust me, this is a thick piece of meat. You can use a little bit more salt. It's not going to hurt anybody. Just don't overdo it. Once you're done with that, we're going to preheat an oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to throw this steak in there for an hour. Yes, you heard that right, 1 hour in the oven. Now, granted, everybody's oven is a little bit different, and everybody's preferred doneness is also different. But my rule of thumb is for medium rare, I pull it off at 120 to 125 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I start searing on the barbecue. We're going to start off by searing the fat cap. Like I said before, nobody likes a rubbery piece of fat in their food. So if you're going to keep it on, make sure to get some color on it. Once you're done with that, we're going to put it on its side, and we're going to place a cast iron grill press. This one's by Lodge. It's a fantastic product. If you guys don't have one, get one. It gives you a great crust. I will link it down in my description and comments. I have an Amazon link there for you. Once your steak's pretty much done, we're going to pull it off and let it rest for about 20 minutes. Don't skip this step. You want to make sure all those juices stay in the meat. Once you're done patiently waiting, you're ready to slice it up. I already know I'm going to hear the comments. It's raw, it's rare, I could still hear it mooing. I don't care. This is rare to medium rare, just like I like it. So if you guys want yours cooked more, cook it more. Now, the only thing you can't avoid with chuck roast is this tendon right down the center of the meat, but it doesn't really bother me too much, and it shouldn't bother you. For an $8, $9 piece of meat, it's worth it. Who cares? It's a little tendon. This steak came out fantastic. Look how tender it is. It was amazing, juicy, flavorful, and remember the price. With food prices going up right now, this is how you guys have to do it. No more spending $25, $30 on a ribeye. Just get yourself a chuck roast, follow this recipe, add some chives at the end, and you're left with a delicious steak. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's try a piece out. So tender, so juicy. I cannot even believe this is a chuck roast. You guys have to try this recipe out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Cheers.